Good morning, it's Monday. Psalm 36. Transgression speaks to the wicked deep in his heart. There is no fear of God before his eyes, for he flatters himself in his own eyes that his iniquity cannot be found out and hated. The words of his mouth are trouble and deceit. He has ceased to act wisely and do good. He plots trouble while on his bed. He sets himself in a way that is not good. He does not reject evil. Your steadfast love, O God, extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the mountains of God. Your judgments are like the great deep. Man and beast you save, O Lord. How precious is your steadfast love, O God! The children of mankind take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. For with you is the fountain of life, and in your light do we see light. Oh, continue your steadfast love to those who know you, and your righteousness to the upright of heart. Let not the foot of arrogance come upon me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. There the evildoers lie fallen. They are thrust down, unable to rise. So this psalm starts off with this description of the evil man, the wicked man who thinks that no one can find him out, no one can oppose him, and thinks that no one can arrest him or cause him any trouble, and he plots evil all night long. And then it says, your love, O God, extends to the heavens. And so we have these nature images of God's bounty and grace. Your steadfast love extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the mountains, your judgments like the great deep, the sea. And it's all very precious. And the righteous feast on the abundance of your house and drink from the river of delights. So quite a contrast here between the wicked and the righteous. And again, this is a psalm that David wrote. It says something at the beginning about Ahimelech. No, it says to the choir master, a servant of the Lord. So that's a different psalm I'm thinking of. But it's just a psalm of praise, and it's a great psalm, just another one in this long list of psalms that we read. I like the verse that says, toward the middle of it there, with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. Now, in the beginning of the Gospel of John, we find the same connection between life and light. And in him was life, and the light was the light of people, of all people. So that connection between God's light and God's life is very strong in the Scripture, and that's something we could pay attention to. They're often mentioned together. They tell us that God's life is like light shining out from God. God's glory is often described as a bright, brilliant, radiant light that you can't look at. Think of the Transfiguration. And this light that shines and so bright that we can't even look at it, that's our life. That's the life that God has. And so we don't quite understand the connection, but if you think about light and life, I mean, light's what gives us life. The light of the sun warms the earth to a certain temperature and causes all these things to happen, and we get warmth and we get food, all because ultimately of the light that comes from the sun. And so light is important for life. If we just lived in a dark, cold, plantless planet with wearing oxygen masks and things, it'd be like bad science fiction, and we would hate it, and we wouldn't live very long. That's the reason I think that light is often used to portray a life and goodness, because it brings with it warmth and plants and food and animals and all these things that come because there is light. In the same way, I think most of our movies and TV shows portray evil as darkness, and it's not that something that is black is evil. It's that the absence of light indicates an absence of life, and so death, and an absence of anything that is positive and good. And so we see these contrasts in our movies and stuff, and I don't want to make too much of a deal about them. Just to say that as we see these things, we see that with light comes life, and we give thanks to God for the light that comes from Him and for His grace and goodness. So there you go. Ponder that today. Let me know what you think, and we will see you tomorrow, Tuesday.